Welcome back, old friend. It's been a while since we worked together. So, let's get to it. I have a lot of memories using this stuff. And so now, that's what I'm going to be using to fill in all these gaps and to make it level. And I'm actually looking forward to it. So let me mix some up, put it on, and I'll show you what it looks like. So here it is, body filler applied, and now just gotta wait till it dries. So you can see there how it kind of bevels outward. So that's gonna look sweet. Now I didn't try to make it look perfect, as you can see from my mess, and that's okay because it's gonna be all sanded down. Here's the beveled side, the bevel look. It's gonna be all sanded down, and I have to say, this stuff, I used this stuff for the entire project. The entire Nova project, I used only this body filler. I didn't use any other type. And this stuff rocks. It is harder to sand than other body fillers, but well worth the effort because it feathers out nicely, and it's just, when it dries, it's like rock hard. I mean, it is like metal. When I do the body filler mixing, I always use glass. I don't use cardboard or any other thing. Glass is pretty cheap. I always do it on some hard surface so that it doesn't break, because obviously glass can break. But the reason why I use glass as opposed to anything else is because glass is non-porous. It will not absorb any of the resins from the body filler. So when I'm mixing it, I know that I'm going to get every last bit of resin in the mix. It's not going to be absorbed like as opposed to cardboard. So after I'm done, I just pretty much just do what you see there. I pile it all on the spatula, on the body filler spreader, and then at the end I just kind of scrape all that off with a razor blade, and I wash it with acetone, and it's good as new. So gotta wait till this dries, and after it dries I get to sand it all off, and that's gonna be a task. But as I said, I'm actually looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I've used this stuff, so I kind of want to go back down that memory lane. So we'll check it out when it's all sanded. Okay, so that was fun. Got them all sanded down, and I used 180 grit. First I used 80 grit to cut through all the imperfections of the cured metal to metal body filler, and then I finished it off with 180 grit. So here's the look right here, and you can see that it has that outward bevel as it gets to the edge, and I wanted to ensure that I have that outward bevel so that it looks more original, more like it was supposed to be there. It doesn't look like I added anything to it. And here's the passenger side. You can see it has the outward bevel as well. So that came out pretty sweet, and it's all going to be covered in vinyl, so it'll be a nice smooth transition when it gets to that point. I also took the liberty of sanding off all the original coating that was on the metal. And as you can see, the metal actually has those leather grain look texture to it. I'm pretty surprised at that. Maybe it was part of the stamping when they stamped these. So I'm pretty surprised. So when I sanded it down, you can see that there's some paint in between all the little cracks and crevices of the stamping. But I wanted to get it all off because when they put the glue for the upholstery that's going to be placed on top of this, the black vinyl, I want the glue to adhere to the actual metal as opposed to adhering to the paint that was originally on here. So I thought that would be a a better safe than sorry type of deal. So I sanded it all off with 180 grit. So they're pretty much ready to get upholstered. So we'll have to check them out when they're fully done. Well, here they are, back from the upholsters, and they just look absolutely gorgeous. I'm very happy with the results. Couldn't be any happier. And upon closer inspection, there's that leather grain look that I was after. This was the main reason why I wanted to vinyl wrap these trim pieces, because I was after that leather grain look. Because originally, the metal had that look stamped right into it. And I wanted to retain that factory look, even though I made modifications to this part right here. Because I did body work here and sanded it down, it was nice and smooth. Now I could have just primered the whole thing with some high build and then sanded it down and made it all nice and smooth, but then that would have gotten rid of all the leather grain look to it, and in my opinion probably wouldn't look factory. So I wanted to retain that factory look, and this vinyl accomplished that perfectly. So now I get to install these in the car, and I'm hoping that they fit nicely, because as you can see, I told the guy to wrap it completely all the way around everywhere. So I wanted that because I wanted that tight seal against the dashboard, especially right around here. So hopefully it fits in nicely and I won't have any problems with the install. But I'm going to go ahead and take care of that right now. So I'll show you when it's all done. So here it is, installed, and now the trim meets the dash the way it was supposed to be from the very beginning. I'm not going to lie, it was a lot of work to get that trim piece in its position. With all that vinyl wrapping, it was a definite tight fit. But I got it in and it looks great. Here's the passenger side. You can see how it meets up with the dash. Beautiful, beautiful. Of course the wraparound, there's the wraparound. And then over here, there's the wraparound. That came out beautiful. One thing I didn't realize before, that now installed I can see, I didn't realize that the plastic also has that grainy textured finish. So I'm definitely glad I went with the leather trim. It's actually vinyl, but the leather grain finish, because if I would have, put high build primer on there and then sanded it smooth to get rid of the grain, and then painted it satin black and then go to install it, I would have been highly upset because the two next to each other would not have matched. Now originally it was only because I wanted it to look factory, but now seeing the two pieces next to each other, I'm so glad I went that route, because for sure now it looks factory. The grain matches, and that would have been a very big deal if it did not match, at least to me. So it's all done, and I'm not going to see any more big gaping holes as I drive down the road. And I have to say, this whole project was a success. Hope you enjoyed tagging along as I tackled this, finally, after all this time. Thank you very much for watching.